Hey guys, so welcome back to the new video. So today we'll solve average time of process per machine problem. Problem number 1661. What we have is a table name activity with the following columns: machine ID, process ID, activity type, and timestamp. The table shows the user activity for a factory website. Machine ID, process ID, activity type is the primary key combination of column with the unique values of the table. Machine ID is the ID of the machine. Process ID is the ID of the process running on the particular machine with the particular machine ID. Activity type is of NM category of type start and end. So when you declare any column as type NM, means you are making sure that this column will only contain certain values. Like here it is mentioned that it will be of type start and end. So it will only contain values start and end. Actually. Timestamp is a float representing the current time in seconds. Start means the process is start at a given timestamp. End means the process ends at a given timestamp. The start timestamp will always be before the end timestamp for every machine ID and process ID pair. Okay. What we need to find is that there is a factory website that has several machines running the same number of processes. You have to write a solution to find the average time each machine takes to complete a process. So you have to find the average time. So average of the timestamp basically each machine takes to complete a particular process. The time to complete a process is the end timestamp minus the start timestamp. The average time is calculated by total time to complete every process on the machine divided by the number of processes that were run. The resulting table should have machine ID along with the average time as processing time, which should be rounded to 3 decimal. You can return the table in any order. Okay. So let me explain you what we actually want over here. So if you consider this activity table, we have 4 columns: machine ID, process ID, activity time, and timestamp. When you look at this particular machine ID table, we have 3 unique values: 0, 1, and 3, 2 for machine ID. We have for every machine ID, we have 2 unique process 0 and process 1, process 0, process 1, process 0, process 1. Corresponding activity type start and end and their timestamp. What is the start time? What is the end time? Timestamp. This is in seconds. What in the output, if you consider, for we have given the machine ID, which is the unique values for every each machine ID and their corresponding processing time. How this processing time is calculated, you see here. If you consider, there are 3 machines: machine with a machine ID 0, 1, and 2, and there are 2 processes each: process number 0 and process number 1. Machine 0 average time will be calculated as this: the start timestamp minus end timestamp for first process, like minus 1.520 minus 0.712, summing up with the other process 4.120 minus 3.140, and summing up this both timestamp and then dividing it by the unique number of process, that is a 2. So it gives the average of 0.894. Similarly, for machines 1 average time, it is 0.995. Machines 2 average time, it is 1.456. Now let me write a query for the same. So what we will do is that first of all we will select. So what we return is the machine ID. Machine ID is what we want to return. Then we want. So if you can look at over here, we want our processing time to be rounded out to 3 decimal places. Okay. So we have to use the round function for the same. Okay. So the round function for the same we have to use. We'll just make sure we are rounding it to the 3 decimal points. Inside this, what we want is a sum. Sum of what? Timestamp. Okay. So for timestamp sum, basically, first what we will do is that we will use a case when your activity type is equals to start, then minus timestamp. Else timestamp. And end this case. Okay. And with that, we will divide this sum by the unique number of processes. See, this particular for machine 0, you can see that it is divided by 2 because we have 2 unique processes. We will go with the count of distinct process ID. Okay, so make sure that we name this column as processing time. Okay. From which table we want to get this? We're going to get this from activity table, and we are grouping it by machine ID because we want it for each machine ID. Okay. Now I'll get you an explanation for this sum. Let me take this here, comment out this thing. So what we are doing over here is that basically we are summing up timestamp value basically, okay, for each machine. So we are grouping it by machine ID. For each machine we are summing up this timestamp. Here why we use the when statement is because you can see over there basically what we want is that we want the sum, but we want it with the for each process basically. For each process time basically we want the sum. Can I explain you this? Is that basically you can see that we have an end timestamp, we have a start timestamp. So we want to sum this both values. You have to subtract these both values basically, and then sum it with the another process value, processing time value. So what we are doing over here is basically we are taking. So if you consider this. So let's say for example, take this for machine ID 0. You have this 0.75 first process timestamp, second, then this is for third, and this is for fourth. So if you consider over here is that what we want is that your end timestamp will be in positive, but your start timestamp will be in negative. So this will be in negative, and this will be in negative. What is like 3.1? Yeah. So when you sum up this thing, you get certain value, and when you divide it by two, you get this particular average. Because all the way we are doing is we are summing up. Yeah. So this, if you consider this as the start time, so it will be subtracted from this particular thing, and we'll get a value. Similarly, this will be subtracted from this, we'll get some value, and we'll add it up both the four values basically, and then we will get this particular timestamp. Okay, so with that we will get the overall timestamp, and we have to divide it by the distinct number of process ID so that we get the average processing time. And here what we are doing is that we are rounding up these values of this processing time to 3 by using a round function as the processing time from the activity table and grouping it by machine ID. So you get this particular thing for each unique machine ID. Now let me run this query. Yeah, so our query got accepted. Our desired output matches with the expected output. That's it. Thank you.